Well, let's turn our attention to other stories, and we will be talking education with a focus on the Nigerian university education. Now, joining us now certainly is our guest from our Abuja studio, the President, Academic Staff Union of Universities, Biodun. Biodun, good morning. All right, we're trying to get him on as we... But you remember when we started, we were talking about the education system. Now, Nigeria is the big brother Africa, let's say. You know. Why did you... All right, but when it comes to the education system, a lot of people will say parenting and guidance from that elementary level is usually responsible how any person performs later in life.
Yeah, those are formative years, and you cannot joke with formative years for any child, really. It's key, but if you, peradventure, if you don't have a good formative years, you are allowed to redevelop yourself and retool yourself to suit the purpose you think you're created for.
Yeah.
So really, if you miss that stage, if your parents don't get it right, as an adult or as a teenager, you can help yourself get it right. But if you have the institution that's meant to enable that, if the parents miss it, the institution shouldn't miss it as well.
All right. We have him now, the president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Biodun Ogunyemi. Biodun, good morning. It's good to have you join us right now.
Good morning.
Welcome to TVC Breakfast. We are laying the foundation now, and we're saying that it is no longer news that education in Nigeria doesn't have the quality it used to have, and more complicatively, it doesn't have the quality comparative to many universities across Africa and across the world. Can you give us a basic background? What is responsible for this decline in the quality of education in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Many factors will come into play when we talk of quality of education. We'll talk of the human resource factor, the physical resource factors, the environmental resource factors, and of course the policy factors. When you take the human resource factor, you find that our universities have lost quality hands over time because of the lackadaisical attitude of successive governments in Nigeria. We find that as from the late 80s and early 90s, we started to experience the phenomenon of brain drain. And that was because we were not doing enough to attract and retain our best and brightest. What that meant for the universities was that those best brains that went to the university and came out in flying colors, who are supposed to return and sustain the quality they experienced in the 60s and 70s, were attracted by other clients where they give attention to incentive, appropriate reward. And that was why one of our issues with government over time has been the issue of what do we do to arrest brain drain. You cannot have the best where the environment they work does not encourage them to be productive. So, and that brings us to the issue of the physical facilities. Since the mid-90s, we have seen a steady decline of the quality of provision of facilities in our universities, and that is talking about laboratories, chemicals, reagents, books, inappropriate stock in our libraries. And when lecturers don't have the resources to work with, they cannot put in their best.
All right.
That also translates into the level of funding.
Okay.
Funding has declined because government decide. Hello?
Yes, Biodun, I was going to interrupt you, so we take those points one after the other. It was just all broad. The issue of personnel and talking about a brain drain. Some people have said the lecturers themselves have some parochial view when it comes to issues of life, when it comes to how they can even go beyond the university and be more involved with the society, that they just like to stay within the four walls of the classroom and don't think of research, work with industries, that if the lecturers are up and about, there won't be issue of a brain drain. Do you agree with such a school of thought?
That is not totally correct. Nigerian lecturers are among the best you can find anywhere in the world. But there are levels of research. We have what we call basic research. You cannot have applied research, which is the other level, until you have the basic components to do the minima. The minima you need in the university is to first establish the fundamentals of what you are going to apply. You want to talk of improving agriculture, you must first develop what you call the technology in the soft and hard forms. You want to talk of engineering, you need to have appropriate workshop and the component and composite materials and facilities. Where you don't have them, people are bound to look for the best environment where they can find them so that they can make impact in their field. So even the issue of brain drain goes beyond what you pay lecturers. So that is the point. It is not about working with industry and consulting. You cannot consult when you don't have the right environment to incubate. And lecturers' work is about reproducing themselves in their students. It is the student that will continue where the current generation will stop. So that is what we are saying. We are saying let's give them the best environment to operate, and they will compete with their peers anywhere else in the world.
All right, Biodun, let me put you on hold. We'll go on a break and then we come back to dwell more on this. Stay with us on TVC Breakfast. Right, if you're just joining us, you're watching TVC Breakfast. We are discussing the quality of education in Nigeria. A lot of Nigerians have had concerns as to the quality dropping from the standards in Nigeria. We have the president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Biodun Ogunyemi, with us in our Abuja studio. Now, Biodun, you've given us a background to what the problems and the challenges could be. Now, can you let us know how is your union or the universities generally, how are they engaging government for this trend to change?
Thank you very much. Since 1992, ASU as a union has always put across to government what we need to do in order to fix our universities so that our universities can rank among the best in the world. If you look back in the 50s and 60s, even up to 70, universities like Ibadan, Ife, Lagos, Ahmadu Bello, they were competing with other universities in the world and they were ranked among the best 100. So over the years, we have put across to government our own position on three major issues. The issue of appropriate funding, condition of service, and academic freedom and university autonomy. When you talk about university funding, we have proposed a number of areas that government could tap into, because as recent as the last 3 years, we have observed steady decline in funding, academic freedom and university autonomy. When you talk about university funding, we have proposed a number of areas that government could tap into, because as recent as the last 3 years, we have observed steady decline in funding. In 2015, where we had 11% we shouted and we said that was a far cry from what UNESCO prescribed. Because UNESCO prescribed that for you to fund your university and education in general up to the appropriate level that will sustain it and will make appropriate achievement with respect to its mandate, you need a minimum of 26% for a country like Nigeria, which is aspiring towards development and transformation. So that 26% has been our own benchmark in engaging government. But we have observed that over the years, probably the highest the government went in the last 3 years here has been 11%, which was
all right,
2015.
Biodun, I'm going to interrupt you a little. That's the much time will permit us right now, but we're going to look for more time for us to dwell more on this, because there are areas that we have to touch on, but we don't have time to dwell on all of this for now. But we must thank you for coming on the program this morning. Thank you very much, the President of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Biodun Okunyemi. Thank you for coming on the program.